Dive, bring the submarine to periscope depth. Prepare to begin transmission. Hey guys, this is the Desert Admiral coming to you from the control room of my desert submarine here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is awesome to see everybody again here. This is my second official video about my tournament and Axis and Allies, so I'm super stoked about this. This one is going to be about an update on the tournament and just a couple of rules that I've been thinking about. I've talked with Young Grasshopper a little bit and talked to a couple of other folks about. So the first one is the number of rounds. You are not going to, what we're going to do is this. We're going to play a set number of rounds. 9. Everybody plays 9 rounds. And we're going to have one large group. So there's not going to be an enthusiast group or a hobbyist group. There's going to be one big group. So those are those folks that might have been the hobbyists that thought, you know, I just wish I had a shot at Feed Your Dread. I know that I could have crushed them. You will have your shot if Feed Your Dread does show up at the tournament. I know Gargantuous said that there's a possibility he can come, but he's not quite sure yet. So we'll see about that. Yeah, so there's going to be one large group, 40 players, 20 teams. Each table will play 9 rounds. So, MeepleCon, which is the event that this is being held at, is open every day from 10 a.m. till 11:45 p.m. So that, if my math is correct, is 13 hours and 45 minutes. Now, my goal and my intention is not to have everybody play for almost 14 hours. That is a very, very, very long day. But there were quite a few teams that did play 9 rounds plus. So I've set time limits for the different countries and the time tokens. I've modified the time tokens as well to ensure that everybody can get done in a reasonable period of time. But once again, everybody will play the same number of rounds of 9. So, you know, I know that some folks played like 12 rounds in some games at the Invitational up in Toronto. Some might have played 6 or 7. In this case, everybody will play 9. So this is, I think, pretty good advance notice to let everybody know how many rounds they're going to play. We'll give everybody a chance to go ahead and hit your game boards here to make sure that you can do that. And I would really encourage you to do that because Grasshopper's tournament was 10 hours. And that's a long time. 2 days of playing 10 hours plus, you know, everybody's excited to be there. Everybody wants to talk to each other. And I remember when I was driving back to the airport with General Hand Grenade, and he shot his videos just saying that everybody was exhausted. And that's true. Everybody was pretty tired because you are focusing pretty hard the entire time on your game for such a long period of time. And it does seem to take, or it does seem that you may need to focus a little bit more than maybe you have to in your gaming group. Because you're seeing different people, you're seeing different people's strategy, and I think on average you're seeing a better player as well. I know that was definitely true for me. Heck, I mean, I played against Feed Your Dread, and you know, that kept my attention focused the entire time. So please go ahead and start practicing and to make sure that you can play 9 rounds in a decent period of time. So to ensure that, I have changed the times per country and the time tokens to help make that happen. So the major countries' time limits are going to be 13. The major countries I'm going to list are Germany, of course, Japan, and the United Kingdom. I throw the United Kingdom there as a major country just because you have 2 sides of the board to address, 2 purchases, etc., etc. The next tier are going to be 10-minute time limits, which are Russia, the United States. Those will both have 10 minutes. The next tier are going to be Italy and Anzac. They are both going to have 8 minutes. And then, of course, everybody's wonderful favorite country of France, Vive la France, is going to have 3 minutes. So these time limits are a little bit tighter. Just so that we can make sure that we get in 9 rounds and everybody has the same chance to make the same number of tokens in the same period of time, versus just playing to a time limit, and then some players are playing for, or some tables are playing for 11 rounds, and some players are maybe in 7 or 8 rounds. So that's one of the thoughts that I'd had, and I'm hoping that it works out pretty well for everybody. The other thing I've modified is this: time tokens. So there were not a lot of time tokens used. To my knowledge, there was actually only 1 time token. But of course, the time limits at Grasshoppers was a little bit longer, and this will be a little bit more challenging. So I am going to reduce the time tokens to the following. Each player gets 3 2-minute time tokens. If a player runs out of time tokens, what will happen is that their partner takes over for them. So for each of the days. So let's say day 1, player number 1 burns through 3 2-minute time tokens, then their partner will go and take over for them, and vice versa. If the partner, or if both team members go ahead and use up all their time tokens, then they will forfeit the game, and we'll go from there. So yeah, please make sure that you go ahead and practice. Make sure that you can play the 9 rounds, and you do generally want to try and play a little bit faster than slower. Just that way you have a little bit of downtime. You can go out and eat dinner. You can rest and relax. You can chat with the other players, because I really don't want people playing for almost 14 hours. So please go ahead and practice and get to that point for that. So yeah, that's the rounds and the times and the tokens. Also, I was going to just let everybody know that March is an awesome time to come to Las Vegas. Just kind of a comparison for you. The average highs in Las Vegas in March are 69 degrees in March. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Obviously, the spring and fall are awesome times to come here. That compares with, just to kind of give us a little bit of comparison with our friends up in Toronto and Canada. And let me just make sure, I got to give you Celsius, of course. I mean, 69 degrees Fahrenheit for those Canadians, that equates to 21 degrees Celsius. Beautiful, beautiful weather. That compares with Toronto's average high in March of a very brisk 26 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 2 degrees Celsius. I got to tell you, I'm glad I live down here and not up there. I like the warmer weather. I think I'm half reptile at this point. So yeah. And then just another tidbit. I know that our Vegas Golden Knights have been playing here, starting out their new expansion year, and I think I heard on the news that they've actually won a couple of games. So I'm not sure what the record is, but they had a special expansion draft, and hopefully got some good players. I'm not much of a hockey fan myself, but there are 2 Canadian hockey games with the Golden Knights after the tournament. So at this point, that's what I got for you guys. Hope everyone has a great day, great night, and I'll talk to you in about a week from now.